Woo! I wanted to discuss Stoicism. And if you haven't heard of the word before, I'm very happy to be the one to mention it to you. Because when I heard the word Stoicism, it I looked it up, and once I understood what it was, I was like, wow, there's a term for how I've been living my life this whole time. It's a philosophy. It goes very far back. When I Googled Stoic, it came up saying a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Now, when I say that, and if I'm talking to someone who's in a narcissistic relationship, toxic environment, you get that. We're forced to do that. We're forced to not show our feelings, not complain. If you're no longer engaging in your narcissist, you've realized that that is a lost cause. So you know that even if you sneezed or said, God bless you, if they sneezed, you're just opening yourself up to Pandora's box, and you might get attacked for that. I mean, that's how pathetic and ridiculous it is. But if you're dealing with a narcissist, you know the most unrealistic and crazy things are their norm. Being stoic is being calm and almost without emotion. When you're stoic, you don't show what you're feeling, and you also accept whatever's happening. I'm not going to say you accept whatever's happening in that fashion where it kind of sounds like, but when I say you're accepting of what's happening, is that you're aware of what's happening. Stoicism type of philosophy is good if you are going through really bad times, a midlife crisis, or in prison. That's what it said on Google. If you are confined, alone, and mentally tortured, Stoicism brings mental toughness. And if you are relating to what I'm saying about Stoicism, you're kind of getting the gist of this, that we're kind of unknowingly put into this mindset of being stoic. And it does make us tougher. It does make us more resilient. This is a survival technique. And on the top of my paper, I put Stoicism and survival techniques and how they relate in regards to, excuse me, a narcissistic relationship. And someone who is stoic, I wrote down a bunch of different examples because I want this to apply to as many people as possible. But a person who represses their feelings, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said before. But when you don't feel comfortable expressing yourself or letting your guard down when something bad happens, you have to repress your feelings. It's a natural state that we go into that a lot of times we don't have control over. It's a human instinct. And then I also wrote, he or she, endured the typical insults with his or her usual stoicism. And that was like using it as an example in a sentence. Like you've already kind of created this stoic way of thinking. And I wrote, we've become this way for survival while we're in these situations. Stoicism is a great survival technique. I know I did it. I unknowingly did it. And like I said earlier, the minute someone asked me like, hey, you know anything about stoicism? I looked it up and I'm like, I think I'm like total stoic. I'm so stoic. Stoicism, it leaves you in a, like I'm going to say a state of zen. That's how I would use the word. That's my definition for the word of zen. But that's not ideal when you're in a toxic relationship or a toxic environment and you have a narcissist by you. That doesn't go hand in hand. So the definition of what stoicism is a little unique when it comes to victims of narcissistic abuse and being mentally tortured and unknowingly being put into this mindset as a survival technique. So there were a couple things that I thought were important to point out. I put, we lose passion and joy, and then we fear losing the smallest of things since we've stripped ourselves to bare minimal. Because in stoicism, you really strip yourself to bare minimal. You really don't try to rely on anything, any external forces for any positive affirmations. You kind of just, you're literally like this. No reaction. And I put, of course, we would like to live in joy, passion, material things that we've relied on as comfort. When you have to live a stoic type of lifestyle coming from this, right? It's not something that when you read Stoicism, you were like, hey, Stoicism sounds pretty friggin' awesome. I want to do that. You unknowingly just put yourself into a Stoic mindset. And of course we're going to want things that we found comfort in. So when you understand that you're in this stoic mindset and you've released everything that you're afraid of losing, because for me, in my situation, I had a lot of things that, what's the word I want to use? Sabotaged. A lot of things were sabotaged. So, and things were ruined. So I had to act like I didn't like anything. I didn't care. Because if I showed any sign that I was liking something or something brought me joy, you better believe it was only a matter of time before something happened to that and that got destroyed. And when you're dealing with a narcissist, these type of things happen. This isn't a surprise. You know, they're evil and they like to do things like this malicious stuff. So that's another way that we fall into the stoic mindset, is that we can allow the narcissist to know what it is we're finding our joy from, because they can easily take it from us. So we can easily just convince ourselves that we're not happy with anything, for that reason, because we're afraid that even the smallest of things that we get, if something happens, if something gets sabotaged, it's taken from us. And at that point, you know, when you've reached a stoic mindset, you're exhausted from that. You know, you're tired of that. You're tired of living that way. So once I identified this and I realized that I was living a stoic life for a very long time. I mean, this is even going back to like childhood, because I grew up in poverty. So I grew up stoic. You know, I had to kind of not get attached to things, because I had learned the hard way that things were gone. You know, I've mentioned in other videos that I grew up with a ton of abandonment issues, and you know, they still underlie in me. I still see it now as an adult, and like I say in many of my videos, you know, no one's ever fully healed. We're all capable of being toxic. Every single one of us, myself, you, the nicest person ever, we're capable of being toxic. And a lot of times we are toxic to other people, and we might not know it. It's nothing intentional. So sorry about that. I'm a mom, and I'm in the process of potty training my son, and I just got word that he had a little accident. So for the most part, I am wrapped up with this video while the tub is running. I have a bath running for him. But I did want to just close off by saying I wrote a little something. Toxic/abusive relationships can put us in a state of stoicism for the wrong reasons. Being stoic while healing can be dangerously depressing. So you know, I'm gonna close it here, but I just want people to know what stoicism is and how it relates to being in a relationship with a narcissist, and what all the other elements of emotional abuse, psychological abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, we could go on, can bring us right to this stoic lifestyle. So please look into it, and if you would like, I can probably dive in and do a deeper video. I don't mind that at all. So if that's something that you would prefer me to do, by all means, leave a comment down below, and I will ask that you please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers to meet the guidelines for YouTube, so that would be a wonderful help. And please like my video as well. But I thank you. I have some stuff to tend to, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I send you a lot of light and love.